Imagine living in a quiet farmhouse surrounded by endless fields. No internet. No streetlights. No neighbors close enough to hear your screams. Only darkness. The kind of darkness that seems to consume everything after sunset. Now imagine something concealed within that darkness. Something watching. Something waiting. Something that knows your name. This is the story of the Bell Witch. A story so disturbing that, more than 2 centuries later, people still speak of it in hushed tones. Many consider it America's most famous ghost legend. Others believe it was never merely a legend at all. According to witnesses, the Bell Witch did not simply haunt a house. It spoke. It laughed. It attacked. And it may have caused a death. The story begins in the rolling countryside of Tennessee. A farmer named John Bell had built a respectable life for himself and his family. His farm was prosperous. His children were healthy. By all outward appearances, everything was normal. But evil rarely announces itself. Sometimes it enters a life gradually, one unsettling detail at a time. One evening, while walking through his fields, John Bell noticed something unusual. In the distance stood a strange animal. At first glance, it appeared to be a dog. Then a wolf. Then something else entirely. The creature stared directly at him. Its eyes seemed unnatural. Cold. Intelligent. Almost human. John raised his rifle. The moment he fired, the creature vanished. Not ran away. Not disappeared into the trees. Vanished. As though it had never existed. John returned home unsettled, but said little. He assumed he had imagined the encounter. Unfortunately, that was only the beginning. Soon, strange sounds began echoing through the Bell house. Knocking on walls. Scratching beneath the floors. Chains dragging across the ground. Children woke in terror. The family searched every corner of the house. Nothing was there. Night after night, the sounds grew louder. More aggressive. The Bell family stopped sleeping properly. Fear became a permanent presence in their home. Then matters worsened. One night, the family heard violent pounding at the front door. The sound was so forceful they believed someone was trying to break in. John rushed outside with a lantern. No one was there. The yard was empty. The fields were silent. Yet the moment he returned indoors, the pounding began again. The unseen presence seemed to be toying with them. Observing them. Taking pleasure in their fear. Weeks passed. The haunting intensified. Blankets were torn from beds during the night. Children felt invisible hands pulling their hair. Slaps appeared on faces. Pins seemed to strike skin from nowhere. The family began to realize they were confronting something beyond ordinary explanation. The worst target was John Bell's daughter, Betsy. The young girl became the primary focus of the unseen entity. Night after night, she was attacked. Her hair was violently pulled. Invisible hands scratched her skin. Bruises appeared across her body. The assaults were so severe that family members often found her crying and trembling by morning. No matter how hard they tried, no one could protect her. The force seemed to take pleasure in tormenting her. Then the impossible happened. The spirit found its voice. At first, it sounded like faint whispers. Soft sounds drifting through the darkness. Soon, the whispers became words. Actual words. The family froze in horror as an unseen voice began speaking inside their home. It knew private details. It knew intimate conversations. It knew things no stranger could possibly know. The voice seemed to come from everywhere at once. From the walls. From the ceilings. From empty rooms. There was no visible source. Only the sound. Imagine hearing a voice directly beside your ear while knowing no one is there. Imagine that voice laughing. The Bell family lived with that nightmare every day. Word spread throughout Tennessee. Neighbors arrived hoping to witness the phenomenon. Many left terrified. Some claimed the spirit answered questions. Others said it sang songs. Some believed it quoted scripture. Many concluded it was a demon. Others believed it was a ghost seeking revenge. One name continued to surface in local accounts: Kate Batts, a woman who had once lived near the Bell family. According to the stories, Kate believed John Bell had cheated her in a land transaction years earlier. She died angry, bitter, consumed by resentment. Before her death, she supposedly vowed revenge against John Bell and his descendants. People began to wonder. Had she returned from the grave? Had her hatred become so powerful that death itself could not contain it? The spirit eventually identified itself. It called itself Kate. From that point forward, people began referring to the entity as the Bell Witch. The witch seemed to embrace the name. It enjoyed frightening visitors. It enjoyed humiliating people, and above all, it enjoyed tormenting John Bell. The attacks against him grew increasingly severe. His health began to decline. He complained of unexplained pain. His body weakened. His face grew pale. Friends noticed a dramatic change. It seemed as though something was slowly draining the life from him. The spirit openly declared its intention. It wanted John Bell dead. Consider that for a moment. An invisible entity was publicly announcing its plan to kill a man. And no one could stop it. Witnesses claimed the witch mocked him constantly. When he tried to sleep, it disturbed him. When he prayed, it interrupted him. When visitors arrived, it ridiculed him. His home had become a prison. His life had become a waking nightmare. As months turned into years, the Bell Witch became known throughout the region. People traveled long distances hoping to experience the haunting. Most arrived skeptical. Many left convinced. Stories spread across the country. The Bell Farm became one of the most feared places in America. Even prominent figures reportedly took interest. One widely repeated account claims that future President Andrew Jackson visited the Bell property. According to legend, Jackson initially dismissed the stories as nonsense. But after encountering unexplained events, he reportedly said he would rather face an entire army than encounter the Bell Witch again. Whether every detail of that account is true remains disputed. But the legend continued to grow. The witch appeared unstoppable. One cold morning, the Bell family found John Bell in grave condition. He could barely speak. His breathing was weak. Something was terribly wrong. While searching the house, family members discovered a small, mysterious bottle. No one knew where it had come from. No one recognized it. The witch immediately claimed responsibility. According to witnesses, the unseen voice announced that it had given John Bell poison. The family was horrified. Could a spirit actually kill someone? The answer came soon after. John Bell died shortly thereafter. The Bell Witch celebrated. Witnesses claimed the entity laughed and sang throughout the funeral. Imagine burying your father while an invisible voice mocks your grief from the shadows. That is the nightmare the Bell family endured. Many people consider John Bell the only known person in American history allegedly killed by a supernatural entity. Whether one accepts that claim or not, the story remains deeply unsettling. Most ghost stories involve sightings, strange noises, moving objects. But the Bell Witch seemed different. It behaved with intelligence, purpose, cruelty. It was not merely haunting a location. It was waging war against a family. Following John Bell's death, the activity gradually diminished. The attacks became less frequent. The voice appeared less often. Eventually, the witch announced that it was leaving. But before disappearing, it made a promise. A promise that would haunt future generations. It said it would return. Years later, Stories emerged claiming the bell which briefly reappeared. Family members reported hearing familiar voices. Witnesses claimed strange occurrences resumed. The entity allegedly discussed future events before vanishing once again. Whether those accounts were accurate or exaggerated remains uncertain. But the fear never fully left Tennessee. Even today, visitors travel to the area in search of answers. The Bell Witch Cave remains one of the most famous haunted locations in America. Locals continue to share stories of unexplained sounds, mysterious shadows, voices emerging from the darkness. Some visitors report sudden feelings of dread. Others claim to hear whispers when no one is nearby. Skeptics argue that the entire legend grew through rumor and folklore. Believers disagree. They point to witness accounts, historical records, generations of stories passed down through families. And perhaps that is what makes the Bell Witch so terrifying. No one truly knows what happened. If it was a hoax, it was one of the most remarkable hoaxes ever created. If it was a ghost, then it was unlike any ghost ever recorded. If it was something darker, something older, something beyond human understanding, then the Bell family may have encountered a force that should never have existed. Picture the Tennessee countryside after midnight. The moon hidden behind clouds. The wind moving softly through empty fields. A lonely farmhouse standing beneath a black sky. Inside, a family huddles together in fear. Then comes the scratching. Slow. Deliberate. Just beyond the bedroom wall. The scratching becomes knocking. The knocking becomes laughter, and from somewhere in the darkness, a voice whispers your name. Not loudly. Not angrily. Almost playfully. As though it knows something you do not. As though it has been waiting for you. Watching you. Following you. The Bell family heard that voice. They lived with it. And according to countless witnesses, they never truly escaped it. Perhaps the Bell Witch was a ghost. Perhaps it was a demon. Perhaps it was something for which we have no name. But one thing remains certain: more than 200 years later, people still talk about it. People still fear it. And in the quiet corners of Tennessee, when darkness settles over the fields and the wind carries strange sounds through the trees, some believe the Bell Witch is still there, listening, waiting, smiling in the dark. And if the legend is true, it never really left.